Hello and welcome to another Boyinapod podcast. Today's guest is Alex Sin. Alex, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Let's just dive right into the questions. How long have you been producing, and what got you into it?
I've been producing, I guess, the bass genre, the dubstep genre, for about 3 years now. And before that, I was doing some electro housey stuff that I never actually released, but that was like 2 years before that too. So I'd say around 17 is when I first started actually producing, not just playing instruments. And then I kind of just took off from there, started learning the different types like hip hop and dance, and then just kind of started melding them together until I came up with this style of dubstep that I kind of like, I guess.
Nice. How did these big shows with guys like Crisley and Bear come about?
It usually starts with, when I play in one state, one promoter will see me and ask about me and talk to me and get to know me there in the show, and then that promoter will tell their promoter friends about me, and it usually just comes about of word of mouth, just hearing what other people are talking about and what shows went good in certain states, and like, because of other states shows going good, someone from that state, from a different state saw that and was just like, all right, well, we need to book this guy since he's through such a, dope ass event, or he was playing such a dope ass event, should I say. But it essentially starts with this guy, Jeremy Word from Full Access, he runs Full Access, and like a lot of the South events, like the Disco Donnie events and stuff like that, he'll just get a bunch of locals together and see which ones are on their way up and which ones mesh well with headliners coming in. So that's how I got the Crisley show and the Bear show.
Nice. Where do you see bass music heading? I mean, do you see it traveling on with dubstep, or do you see it like changing a little bit? Or
I think, this last year or so, there's the whole trap thing has been coming into play, and that has been kind of a crucial part of the bass scene. I would say, in a way, not a crucial part, because I don't think it's something as substantial. Is that a word? Substance?
Why not, right?
Something with enough substance to stay around as long as dubstep has. I'm not sure if it has that. It might, though. I'm not sure. But I definitely see bass music heading in a good direction. I mean, with the fact that it's being commercialized now, and that's helping a lot on the image for it to, the general mass that, is kind of iffy on the whole thing because they think it's just, techno or something, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But I definitely think it's heading in the right way if the right people catch on to it at the right time and do the right things. I know it's a lot of ifs, but that's my opinion.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not so sure about like how long trap will stay like either. I mean, it's good, but you're definitely hitting the point with, does it really have enough substance? I mean, how many siren synths and rolling snares can you really?
Yeah, how much stuff can you use before it's already done? Like it's only classified that way if it's done that way. So I mean, it doesn't give you a lot of headroom for change.
Yeah. What DAW are you on, and can you briefly describe your workflow?
I'm currently using, actually, as of like 2 days ago, I was using Reason 7, which is
Beta?
The beta test, which I got to, that's pretty fun. I was messing around with some stuff and couldn't find anything that was wrong so far, so I kind of feel like I failed as a beta tester, but I use Reason 6.5.3, I think. I want to say it's the newest one. I don't know. I just update it every time it goes. So I use the newest Reason, and I use this kind of like template that I put together that I don't really use for every track, but it's a good starting point for every track. So I'll have like just some basic drums that I have that are just ready to make a track, and just some basic synths that I'll use, a basic sub bass, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll kind of just change it from there on to what I want it to be. But it usually starts with either just an idea I had like 2 weeks ago, and I've not been by my computer for that long, and it just hits me so hard, and I think about it so much beforehand that I just put it together flawlessly when I get to my computer finally, or it starts with, I don't know, other ideas people have sometimes. But my workflow is basically just me sitting down and writing a couple of patterns together, going back, and I'll work on 3 or 4 different songs at the same time so that I don't get bummed out on one track. And I'll put patterns together and see what works. And a lot of it has to do with, I think resampling was the greatest thing I ever learned how to do.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that it gives you so much more possibilities and so much more possibilities.
Were you doing that a lot when you were using Reason 5, or is that more of like a Reason 6 thing because of the integrated audio?
Definitely a Reason 6 thing. Reason 6 made it awesome when it brought in the audio into the sequencer. I was like so stoked, and I didn't have to put my stuff in like NXTs anymore, and that sucked. And I don't know, like, it helps a lot more when I'm like bringing in samples now because I can just see it there. It's not like it's like one note pressed by a sampler that I can't really see and edit. And like with Reason 7, they brought in this whole like, it kind of looks like recycle, and it has like these little pinpoint measurements you can kind of move around, and it's awesome. They're getting more in depth with it, and I really like it.
Is that for the Octo-Rex?
Yeah,
you cycle bit.
You can bring in and then the Reason 7 version, you can bring in audio clips. And when you double click on it, it doesn't go like it usually goes into it and allows you to chop it up or allows you to go into edit mode. It usually does that. Instead it takes you into the waveform and it gives you little pinpoint sections, kind of like Ableton does, unless you like stretch it your own way and like match the beat, just a slight handoff. And it didn't let you do that in Reason 6, and you had to like cut it up and do it yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really like that feature, and I don't really know how that has to do with my workflow. I just kind of went off there.
Oh, it's good. Any tips and techniques for other producers?
Definitely go on forums and ask and look up the questions that other people are asking, because chances are they're a question you're trying to figure out. You just don't know how to word it the right way, or like a lot of people will go online and they'll start researching. And when I start going off into this rant, I think researching is one of the biggest tips I can give other producers, is because if you just research and learn everything, you'll know it, and you won't have to go back to that tutorial every time to learn how to do it. Just sit down and take the time and take the time that you would usually go out partying on the weekends and take that extra couple of hours and just learn how to do it. Like, I have so many people asking, but they're just not willing to sit down and actually take the time and learn how to, go through the tutorials and sit hours on the computer and read and, whatever. I mean, if you go to a class, that's perfectly fine. I have some friends in DevSpot who are doing pretty good, and that helps them a lot too. But
yeah.
I mean, if you're just going to learn it yourself, you have to actually have the motivation and do it yourself. Like, you can't just sit back and watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Researching is like the biggest thing that you can do for yourself. What can we look forward to for you, like future releases and stuff?
A lot of the future releases I have are, I think most of them are coming out on Heavy Artillery. I have some talk with Firepower, not a lot, but some talk with releasing with them. But
is that Dat6 label?
Did I say Heavy Artillery? I meant Rotten. I don't know if I said Heavy Artillery. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I meant Rotten is where most of my stuff's gonna be coming from. Dat6 label is Firepower. That's correct. And Excision's label is Rotten.
All right. That's cool. Where can we find your stuff?
A simple Google search for Alex Sin will usually pull up my Beatport page or my SoundCloud page. SoundCloud's definitely your best option. I'm always on there, and I'm always putting the newest stuff on there that I can, and it's soundcloud.com/AlexSin, no spaces or anything. But yeah, that's where I post all my newest stuff, like the VIPs and all the original stuff. Anything that's just public, like Beatport and iTunes, you're usually not gonna have like the latest. I make a lot of stuff in between months, and some stuff I'll never release on Beatport or iTunes, like VIPs and like little things that I just feel are necessary to give out to the general public. So SoundCloud is the best place to look at my stuff. I actually just made a new website. My old website was thisisalexsin.com. The new one is alexsin.us. So I'm gonna be posting a bunch of stuff there from now on.
Sweet. All right, glad to have you on the show, man.
No problem, man.
Bye.